Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the Raleigh Real. Keep it real so we ain't never gotta get real. And I ain't going nowhere. So, first things first. Been under the weather, been dealing with a band, all kinds of daggone strikes, copyright issues, whatever have yous. But we back in the building. And shout out to the Godfather, Kevin Samuels. He passed a year ago on May 5th, as well as happy belated Mother's Day to all of the great mothers out there. To all of y'all mothers that are married to your child's father, happy Mother's Day. The rest of y'all home wreckers, y'all can go somewhere. I'm sorry, did I say something wrong?
Another one.
Well, let's get the conversation started. Today's topic of discussion: do modern women know what they want? If so, do they know what the men they want? Or should I rephrase that as the men that they like want? And are they willing to give him what he really wants? All right. I'm sure you're thinking, what is the relevance? Well, allow me to provide contextual clarity to the significance of these particular questions. If you know what you want and or expect from the man you want, wouldn't that also require you to in turn know what that kind of man wants? Is it then safe to say that by that logic, you aren't truly sure if you convince yourself that that man will choose you, even though you aren't willing to give him what he wants? Think about it. Let's talk about it. We're living in a different day and age. We're so far beyond where we've started that we have different phrases and titles of basically compounded words that have been created in this day to signify, how could I say, changes that should be insignificant by way of neglect. All right, now I see in the comment section that we have a gentleman who likes to just go around and speak his mind based upon his emotions as opposed to the topic at hand. Sir, you can exit stage left. I'm not concerned with your opinions because I have a title that I'm speaking on, a particular subject. If you don't want to address that, you can go ahead and scroll up, down, left, right, whatever it takes for you to get the hell on up out of here. Seriously. But shout out to him though for being bold enough to come into the comment section and show exactly how ignorant he is. Shout out to you. Karen would be who raised you. That's why you came in here complaining about something you saw as opposed to addressing the topic at hand. Please don't project, ma'am. And I meant ma'am.
Bruh.
Don't waste my time, bro. Now, back to what I was saying before I was so Karenly interrupted. Let's talk about it. It's amazing the ignorance that some people intentionally display, thinking that someone is going to give them the emotional response that they can never control in their own lives because of their own misery. Enjoy your evening, sir. Go elsewhere with that. And with what you just put down, how about I respond like this? Majority of your party does not agree with that. Have a nice evening.
Damn, son.
Be serious, bro. You're not going to get me to change my topic. The fact of the matter that you're being addressed at all is just due to your own persistence, nothing further. As you can tell, you haven't changed anything. My tone of voice has not changed. My delivery has not changed. Okay, I'll address that. Have you been through anything on my page? You do realize that you're talking to a veteran, right? You do realize that, right? So guess what that means? Your opinion is not welcome. So while you continue to try to troll, how about you get yourself some business and go elsewhere? And as I was saying before, let's talk about not paying no attention to the ignorance in the comment section. If you're not here to speak about the daggone subject at hand, just go right on ahead and keep banging your keyboard and enjoy yourself. Karen is who raised you. That's why you keep speaking about her name. Mother's Day just passed, I understand. Grow up, homeboy. If you scroll through daggone TikTok, worrying about what you see in the background of somebody's video, the Karen is you. You're disturbed. You're miserable. And only you can help them. You know what you really need to do for everything that it is that you're saying? You need some therapy.
Stop it. Get some help.
Really. Stop it. Get some help. Because nothing you're saying is going to change in this day or any day to this day.
To this day. To this day. To this day.
Now, back to my subject. Not what you may think you want to speak about. I appreciate the compliment. Dennis, you know, a guy that might not even look better than you, but gets better women than you. You want to try to make an insult? Next time, try somebody better. Because you can't measure up to that. And the fact of the matter that's been a compliment that's followed me since longer than you've been able to even type your keyboard. Try harder. Try next time. But as I was saying before, I was so how can I say adolescently interrupted. If you convince yourself that what it is that you want is exactly what he wants, how much do you really know what you want? Let's get further contextual evidence of that. Does body count matter in dating today? If not, how come most women are offended by the question, much less whether or not they are honest about it if it doesn't matter? With that said, why do so many women lie about it if it doesn't matter? These are not questions meant to manipulate or justify. These are just hard facts that are intentionally overlooked, not cared about, shamed, or believed to be made up. A wise man once said, when dealing with women, do not listen to what she says. Watch what she does. I said that to contextualize the fact that their actions will prove the honesty of her statement. Basically stating that no matter how any woman dances around the question of body count, and if it indeed matters, their relentless dedication to either avoid answering the question, playing the victim for being asked, or just flat out lie says that body count not only matters, but women know exactly how much it matters. Regardless whether they're respect enough to not go against it, they all will lie to hide it. Where did I lie at?
Toasty!
The fact that modern women not only fight the importance of this question, not only shows their lack of understanding of the common man, it's proof of conditioning to look down upon men instead of admiring and appreciating. A friend of mine in just common conversation once said, women don't look at men nowadays as human beings, they look at us as human doings. They don't look at us for character-driven issues, character-driven basis, or basis of character for family basis. No, we're just looked at as basically resource tools, an ATM, something to take care of them. That's why the start off question is, do modern women really know what they want? Because we're living in a day of women wanting equality, screaming for so-called fighting for equality. So, with that being said, that's what I was speaking on when I was saying these compounded statements that they have made up to justify these failures at the successes that came prior, like TradCon. So, traditional and conventional has now been broken down into basically a compound statement of sorts, as opposed as the standard of success. Now, this is not a perfect world, so there's no perfection within it. With that being said, we're not going to cry over the spilled milk of the amount of divorces out here. Because, the successes of any successful society are the communities that are based upon families. So, I'll say again, the things that made the standard of success are now considered TradCon. So, modern women aren't even traditional and conventional, but want a traditional and conventional man. How so? Well, even though the modern woman on average is not a traditional, conventional housewife, they do still traditionally and conventionally want a provider male to provide more than them to the excess of at least a third to double what they make. Now, in the pursuit of being an independent woman, a boss baby, boss chick, going after the bag, I want my own money. Let's say you reach the excess of, let's just say for sake of argument, 50K or more. By way of nature, despite fighting the daggone traditional and conventional ways that naturally have been successful within marriage, this woman will still want a man to provide what she makes a third to double or more. That's called hypergamy. And it's natural for a woman. It's natural for a woman to want a man to provide more than she does. Men create resources to share. Women create resources for them children and for themselves. It's just the natural recourse of how they are naturally built, as well as men. I said that to say this. If you want to be a modern woman, there are choices and trade-offs. As the great Kevin Samuels would say, R.I.P. R.I.P. to the Godfather. Choices and trade-offs. So, for that money that you've accumulated, the amount of hard work and effort it took for you to accumulate, it creates habits. There are routines and things that become habit forming. Hypergamy is definitely natural for women, but it's a lot more stressful and stringent on a man in a day and age where inflation and cost of living is at its highest. 70% of all mothers have to work in this day and age. These are just statistical facts. So that basically says, by you earning an average to above average salary as a woman, and hypergamy driving you to want a man to have more, that now causes you to look above the spectrum from whence you started. Why? Because you're not looking to stay at home, raise your children, and allow for it to be one income in the household. Regardless whether you want the man to pay for the entire household, you still want to go out and create your own income, revenue, your own bag. With that said, that shrinks the pool of available men for you to be courted by. Because, as I earlier said, men create resources to share. So men will definitely not only settle down, they'll aim down. Women aim up, hence hypergamy. So, the more she makes, the further up the scale she looks, lowering her amount of possible suitors. And all of that is pertinent for this very daggone reason. If you don't know what the man that you want wants, and you're jumping yourself into a smaller pool of potential mates that you want to choose from to be chosen, knowing exactly what that man wants is very pertinent to being successful at being courted by that man. So yes, do modern women truly know what they want? Because in order to truly know what you want to land the man that you want, you need to first know that man, what he needs, so you can find him in order to be the support system that he needs. Now, I'm going to take a moment to light my cigarette here and just breathe for a moment. Un momento, because we got us someone in the daggone comment section that's just like really in need of attention. And it's sad. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play him some music right quick, you know? Because he's really suffering from
Emotional damage.
and it's really sad. I mean, he's been flooding the comment section this whole entire time, not paying attention to a word that's being said, because everything that he types in the comment section is fruitless. He's not getting any kind of response that he wants. He's emotionally damaged because he wants emotional response and he's not getting one. It's sad. But It's okay. It's okay. Hold that L, buddy, because you earned it. This entire time you've been down there in the comment section. Does my face look like I care?
Nope.
Nice try. Try again. The fact of the matter that I'm even addressing you is an L for you because you're not being addressed the way that you were expecting or even want. So you can't even take that as a double. You can take it as another L. Shout out to you, man. You're the best player on our team.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
I told you from the start. Go troll somebody else, buddy. You're not worth the time, man. Seriously. I can't take morbidly obese male serious, man. Nobody else in his life does. Why the hell should I? That's why I just block his ass and move on. Like, come on, buddy. Go get you a daggone bonnet and a bottle or something. Go cry in the corner somewhere.
Oh, hell no!
Nobody got time for that bullshit. Now, the saddest fact is, marriages are ending all over the place. In the first world, not speaking worldwide, just the first world. And sadly, in the black community, 1 in 4 black women will be married before they die. The next closest community is the white community, with white women being married at a 54%. Why is this important? Why is this pertinent? Well, in the black community, black women quite often are heard saying that they're the most educated women in America. Well, the stats also show in the black community, when the black woman is college educated, she gets divorced 80 to 90% of the time. So 1 in 4 black women will be married before they die. And 80% of all divorces are filed by black women. And 90% of those are educated black women. Add that up. So on top of not knowing the type of man that you want, not only how to find and keep him, you don't even have enough respect for the man to even follow through with the vows that you took. First, it's for better or worse, sick or poor, for better or worse, sickness or poor. So death do us part. If 80% of divorces are filed by the woman, and more than 50% of marriages end in divorce, what is it that you really want? Because you say you want the man. And then those of you that do get him, the average marriage in the black community lasts 5 years. 5 years. So on average, those that do get married, it's only 5 years before that marriage is at an end. And 80% of the time, the cause for divorce is unreconcilable differences, which is normally due to finances. So, the way you chose the man was based more upon finances, resources, than character. Then, that leads to not holding on to the said relationship. If any children came of the relationship, now there are other entities involved other than just the two that started. Those are usually used in the court system against the man as pawns. And you leave the man, take the kids, take the resources. So, what is it that modern women truly want? Do they truly want a family, a husband, or do they want to dominate? Something serious to think about. Meanwhile, you have traditional men out here working, breaking their back, damn near dying every day to put food on their tables, to better themselves and become better day by day, pay by pay, year by year, knowing this is the process needed to not only be deserving of, but to provide not only the best, but in a satisfactory way to himself for a family. There's nothing new under the sun. It's said everywhere nowadays. Women do not create resources to provide for a family. Women create resources for themselves. So, convincing yourself, going to college, creating all of these resources, making all of this money, getting all of this clout, status quo, fame. How does that benefit the man that you choose? It doesn't. Because there is no such thing as sexual symmetry or sexual attraction symmetry, I should say. For all of the so-called equality that women are expecting, fighting for in the modern day, that is something that can never be equal. The modern woman does not know what she wants because she has become what she wants. The modern woman has become the very man that she wants. This is the reason why modern women from my day and beyond have the highest number of depression and antidepressants prescribed in American history.